Second by number 25, Ben Orso. First run good enough for first down.
That camera's on, right? I believe our audio is not going. I don't know why the camera's not working. It might even be working. We are live at Buzz Media. Our audio will be better in a moment when I get that figured out, but we are streaming the game here. Slightly late. You know, Buzz Media production. It's mostly Matt Strong's fault. Isaiah Davis here with Matt Strong and we're parking. Guys, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great up here. We're acting like we're doing something, but I don't know if we actually are.
No, we are.
My camera's pointing, that's all.
No, the game's going.
I've got this extra camera for what reason I'm not.
That camera, Matt, that you have is the huddle camera for the coaches. They can actually get the plays right away. They don't hear our audio on that one, though. So here, Matt, take a headset. We're working on being fully... Oh, yeah, we do have to share. Maybe somebody will tell us. Here, you can put this
Third down and 9.
We have to find out if we can hear each other in headsets before we switch to that. Can you guys hear me?
I cannot hear you.
I can't hear you either.
Can you hear me now? Hornet touchdown.
Hornet? So Dayton just got a touchdown. That's all that really matters.
Hold on. Can you guys hear each other now?
I don't know.
I can hear Will.
I can hear Strong out of my left ear.
Oh no, that's good. That's the correct.
Is that? I was gonna say the correct amount of incorrectness.
That's the correct amount. That's the way it works because it doesn't really work.
Normal amount of malfunction on this production.
What should have happened, I think, for Buzz Media is you guys should have done a preseason game just to get all these kinks out, Davis. He's not listening to me right now. He's trying to figure something else out.
We actually did do a preseason practice.
How'd that go?
It didn't go that well. And, you know, also the only person from that practice that's here is me. And that may connect things. So here we are. I haven't even been paying attention. Did they go for 2 yet?
6
So they're going for 2
right now.
Called the timeout prior to the play. Scored on a pass to Calder.
Nice. And there's a
2-point conversion is good.
there's Dayton as well.
That was Dayton as well.
9:26 remains in the fourth.
8-0.
So 9:26 left in the first.
8-0, 9:26.
Let's see if we can mess with this a little bit. How do you audio sound right now?
I can't hear you, Davis, but I don't know if that's such a bad thing.
I was gonna say this might be it. This might be a upside.
Well, I mean, I can hear you, but just not in my headphones.
Well, at some point, all of these things the levels get messed up. You know, it might be the regular season. The Hornets clearly came ready for the season, whereas I'm more in like first day of preseason mode. We had some.
At least somebody's ready for the season to start.
We had some power cord issues because I thought I didn't really judge what 100 feet was. And here we are at the kickoff.
No Carpenter, number 6, also the kickoff specialist.
Davis, you're going to be in charge of numbers and everything because Will and I are trying to.
Oh, well, if someone wants the numbers, I put them on the table.
I'll do numbers. You be in charge of this.
And I still don't believe that this one is actually going. There's just too many things going on the screen that makes me think that it's off. Trust the process, Matt.
What do you mean?
Like this thing right there that looks like a no smoking sign over a camera.
I mean, that's just encouraging us to not smoke.
That's not a problem at all.
All right, I'll trust I don't know why, but I guess I'll trust you.
And
Lift is a little shaky right now. I don't know why that's
the lift is always shaky. Last year in the playoffs, we were up much higher, and it was very windy.
This lift doesn't look like it's the same lift, though. Because I remember coming in on, I guess it could be taken around. Yeah, sorry.
This could not possibly be the same lift.
Sorry about that.
All right. York is now on offense, going from what looks like the 25-yard line.
First time in the season.
It's like number 34, Maddox Demers, taking the runner down in the backfield.
Did we miss a play? I don't remember first down.
No, I think it's second down. I think that just might be a...
Okay.
I think all the technical aspects of this game are in rough shape, but so far,
Yeah,
boys on the field are looking good.
they fixed it on the scoreboard. Oh, they lost 4 on that.
Fan section also looking mid-season form.
After this play, I get a shot. We have a large crowd here.
Is that number 2 in them? Gavin Davis, York quarterback.
The flag on the flag.
Oh, we got that.
Got a flag.
Leavitt fan sections here and loud and all in black. Is it blackout night?
It is blackout night, hence the black sweatshirts that Mr. Strong and I are wearing, but Davis.
I'm wearing gray.
Offside. Gets the Hornets.
Well,
They just gave the 4 yards back +1 that they knocked him back, and they just felt generous. Said, "Oh, why don't you take 5?"
2nd and 14.
No, it's actually 2nd and 9 now. It was 2nd and 14, but they just had a 5. The guy running the scoreboard's a little bit slow on the
No,
uptake.
they're also in the preseason. I have nothing to say there.
The only way I know is I'm looking at the chain gang.
You gotta look at the chain gang. Always.
They're always sharp. They know what they're doing.
Oh, fake me out. Oh, nice hands.
Batted down by number 34, Maddox Demers. Back-to-back defensive.
All over the place early.
I think we're gonna see a lot of bats all over the place this year.
I think so.
By number 32, Maddox Demers.
I believe Maddox, they need 3 captains for the season.
Yep.
Maddox was not one of them. 3. But they're gonna have a weekly captain. Who's the captain this week?
Yes, they rotate each game. They have a different captain, and as of right now, I believe Maddox Demers.
Is the one for this week. I believe. Also, I could be wrong. Could have been last week. I don't know.
Yeah. We really got to figure out how to shut this lift off.
Yeah, if there's anybody else that can tell us how to turn this lift off.
Chip, if you're watching.
Chip's not watching.
Oh, wow, that was some bad camera work on my part, so.
Number 7, Colton Taylor, looked like he got a hand on it.
Davis' pass instead of a Jake Wall.
I will tell you that for the other people that they care the most about, Matt, on your camera, is not like the wide receivers, it's the players.
Okay.
Because it's coaches, so they want to...
Good to know, because I was...
like some of them in there, but if they put people really wide, they said...
All right, I was trying to decide whether or not I should go wide or zoom in. That one I think I completely missed the play, so if Hathaway gets upset, tell him I'm new at this.
4th and 9 for York. Going back to punt, number 31, Will Keach, set to receive. Will Keach fighting hard.
I'm just going to take that all the way to the other side of the field. That might be one of those, like, 40-yard returns and actually like 100 yards.
Hornets starting with good field position here.
Total amount of yardage side to side.
Now, I had heard York was going to be good competition. They played really well against Marshwood in the preseason.
Last year, it was one of the closer games they had. They were actually down. Hornets were down at halftime to York. At York. It was at York, down at halftime. York's a very big physical team. I've heard the offensive and defensive line is kind of their strong point, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Will Keach, I think?
Yep.
Number 31.
Hudson third, along with Orso making the tackle.
It's going to set up a second and about a yard. You know how I know that, Matt?
Gang gang.
Big 9.
We actually have got 1st and 10 on the board, so yeah, the board is still a little slow.
I just don't want to hit a button and we go crashing down.
We do need to turn. If there's anyone at home that knows how to shut off the scissor lift, that'd be great to know. I want to make sure the audio's just something.
Oh, halfback option. Wide open.
31.
Little trickery early.
Pass to number 8, Sawyer Hathaway.
What they used to call the halfback option. I don't know if that's what it's still called, but Will Keach
motions to the right, gets off to the right side, throws it down the field.
Looked like Sawyer Hathaway.
Sawyer Hathaway.
I like the ball that the fans and Sawyer going back to look at this later. Thinking like, sorry, Sawyer.
I think I get it on this camera, so maybe they can see it on.
The fans won't get to see the huddle, so they. I was looking down at my phone to think who we could text to learn how to shut off the scissor lift.
Oh, little keeper. Oh,
keeper number 6, Noah Carpenter, right up the middle for the 2 point.
Chip's not going to answer.
No, not great.
I think it's the red button. I really do. I don't think we're going to draw. Hold on.
There's got to be a safety measure.
I think it's the red one. I think that's what says. I think that's what sinks us.
No, I don't know.
What's that switch right there? Oh, that's a gas line.
We don't start spewing gas outside the side of it.
Anyone knows how to shut off the scissor lift.
it would be good to know how to get down too. Do we know how to get down?
You can get down. It's
okay.
Whatever. It's just a matter of turning the thing off without.
We're going to turn it back on.
No. One would think it would be a key of some sort, but I'm not seeing one.
Well, someone might know when this is lift. Alright, well, we're getting ready for kickoff. We'll worry about that. Quickly burning through our fuel and this is lift.
You might not have anyone actually watching, so that...
There's 20 people watching.
20? Ooh.
Oh, Noah Carpenter going into the opponent end zone for him.
Wow, that's a healthy kick.
Not overly common in high school football, getting the ball all the way into the back of the end zone.
They'll kick into the end zone for a touchdown.
So do you think they're still kind of sharpening up PATs, the kicks? Because I would guess if he can kick it that far, his field goal must be able to kick a field goal.
I'd say,
they've gone for
2 points is worth more than 1.
Okay.
I'd say they feel
very logical.
So far, they feel confident in their ability to get the 2-point play in. So, that's about as consistent as if they were going to go for a PAT.
All right, point taken.
I think that's a good point. And I do think, obviously, if they were worried, they got to feel good about their kick.
Right. But again, there are a lot of factors that go in. The snap, the holds, it is not just the kick. York, 1st and 10. That's number 2, Gavin Davis, going to Jake Fogg, number 5.
Pick up with just a couple, really.
Yep. Carpenter and Keach bringing him down pretty early. Will Keach has not played football the past 2 years. Will Keach, big hockey guy, fantastic hockey player, has kind of prioritized hockey recently, not necessarily been playing some football, so this is a good return back to the football field for him.
For someone who hasn't played in 2 years, we've heard his name a lot already.
I think in terms of yardage, he might be the passing leader for the game so far, to be honest.
I think definitely.
He's got a touchdown and probably around 50 yards. Oh.
A little extra shot there at the end.
Through the hands of number 13, Ben Brown.
The Hornets have a weird schedule this year.
Whoever's running the camera keeps staying zoomed in and is missing the play. So, Davis, doesn't matter. An anonymous source.
Wait,
so if you want to zoom out.
Make sure it's this one, not the huddle.
No, it's this one. No, it's from YouTube.
What is it? I'm staying zoomed in?
Staying zoomed in. So if you want to zoom out, so you're catching the rest of the play.
Yeah, I've been trying to follow the last couple of games, but see if I can do better.
That's what it's all about.
I am not good. It's also nice when it's on this end, because I think where this end zone is, it's far away.
Number 2 going back to pass. Oh! Incomplete, broken up by number 6, Carpenter, almost getting the interception. Brett Coburn getting in the backfield too, almost getting a hand on it.
Carpenter's going to get a lot of backfield. It's tough to stop.
I think he's going to do a lot of stuff, to be honest.
Whoever texted you about that, so that's how to shut off the system.
Defense for Leavitt looking strong early. I think they held York under 10 yards, I believe.
31 is
2 trips. That's Keach back again, yeah. Oh, that looked like it went off his side, yeah.
Looked like we hit a couple of other coaches over there, maybe.
Out at what looks like the 47-yard line in York territory.
I'm not sure which Leavitt coach, but that definitely bounced into some coach in black. But Chris Gray's okay.
Covering the important statistics is Isaiah Davis. Whether or not it hit the coach on the sideline.
It did. I just kept on with it. There's a lot of coaches on that Leavitt sideline, as always.
So you're saying the odds are pretty good that it hit somebody?
Well, I saw it.
Coaches.
I saw it bounce into somebody. They're all dressed in black.
There's typically a no flinch rule on the sideline when it comes to that stuff.
You're just gonna let the ball hit.
You just got, you let the chips fall as they may. If you get hit with the ball, you get hit with the ball. Noah Carpenter going up the middle.
Noah Carpenter on the keeper.
This is not the easiest offense to run the camera with, too. They got a lot of fakes, a lot of keepers.
And I'm 5 there? Yeah, you don't know where they're going.
And I don't think I'm smart enough to actually follow a game like that, especially when I'm looking in this little viewfinder.
Yeah. I don't like looking at the little viewfinder. Chip usually, he's pretty good around the camera.
So what we've learned from this is Chip really is the MVP of Buzz Media. Whoa, that was bad. Sorry, coaches.
Back in the backfields.
75. Big guy, 75.
Matt Charpentier.
I would say that Chip is the MVP of football.
Yeah. Was it ever decided who was the captain of Buzz Media?
No.
I know that was a bit of a...
Parker didn't watch the special.
What can he do?
You were named the captain if you watched it. You looking at how to shut off the system?
I mean, how'd you turn it on?
I didn't turn it on.
Who turned it on? It was just running the whole time?
I think West
did.
Oh. You're going to run out of gas eventually, people. Motion to the right. Is that number 1, Mason Henderson? Brought out of bounds.
I like that you were Googling it, but you didn't get an answer.
I mean, it says the key. There's no key over here.
Is that key that chain hangs on?
No, I think that's what connects the power.
He's pushed out of bounds. 4th down and 4.
So that was the chips I saw. Range.
Over the head of number 8, Sawyer Hathaway.
The center is incomplete. And the Lions have to take over on down.
So that is a turnover on downs. It's going to go back to York.
The Bears are back to the 30.
Is the ball cross midfield yet? Have we...
Yeah, the initial kickoff was in this end. Leavitt received the initial kickoff.
We didn't get it past the 50. I wasn't really watching kickoff. I was trying to get the team for it.
I think Will Keach got the punt in our territory. I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's cross midfield.
Yeah, a couple times, but it's been pretty close. It's
New
pretty.
York has not had the ball in our territory.
No. I don't believe they have had control over it.
Quarterback keeper.
That was number 2 again.
Gavin Davis on the carry.
That like 5 yards?
Back up.
Even Leavitt or York fans know how to turn off a scissor lift. Please tell us in the chat.
Second down and 4.
Maybe be a Buzz Media first. Getting technical help.
Flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
Offsides again, looks like.
Against the Hornets.
I might give him a first down.
The gang's moving.
Their first down, I believe, of the game.
Which results in a first down for York.
Still not quite past the 50-yard line, though, so let's see if we can
If they get this
Get
first
over that
down, they're going to be in our territory.
yes.
Nice Hornet painted on the field. Not really the best angle to catch it, but it's there.
Again, Davis getting all the most important parts of the game.
Now you got to paint a picture here. Well, I guess it's not really radio. There's a fake.
There you go, ball. Come on.
Is that number 50, Bo Mayo? 53? Wait for Chafelli to let us know.
Gavin Davis brought down by number 50, Bo Mayo.
Number 50, Bo Mayo.
You should just have more confidence.
About a yard, second and 9.
That was for no gain.
Oh, offsides once again.
Oh, man.
Hard count.
Hornets have kind of been the Wildcats' best friend on this drive.
I have to say, for the last couple of years, I've noticed a lot of penalties for a game or two of the season. And then that gets corrected.
As is bound to happen. Like, it's the same thing. Like,
You
it's
can't really practice that. Is that kind of the...
Second down and 4.
once you can't really recreate a game setting, getting those like emotions, getting those just like that energy to get after the quarterback. So once you're actually in there and you're just fired up to actually get back there, it's a difficult thing to practice. So it does get a few games to really get that under control. Especially that was a blitz. That wasn't just going plain offsides. Like there was a stunt in there. So
Get second and 4.
it's like that pass was incomplete. Defended by number 27, Braxton Rowe.
Braxton is a captain.
Braxton Rowe is a captain.
Instead of number 33, Ty Regis.
Very
Ball incomplete. Second down and 4.
I believe it's third down. Yes, they have corrected it. I'm staring at them. What do you call the chain gang guy that just, I guess this is the down guy?
The down guy.
Down guy. Down guy.
Well, he also marks where the ball is.
Oh, that's fine.
Smart guy.
Oh, he's able to cut
Oh, slipped a few tackles.
That's going to be close.
33 there from York. Nice run after the catch.
Ty Regis.
Completed to number 33, Ty
They might have to do a measurement here. Oh,
He's brought down by Clayton Taylor.
yeah, that's pretty darn close. Oh, and that was the end of the first quarter.
Oh, are we going to
So I got to measure? Are they going to call this a... Oh, you know what? It's right at the 50.
I was going to say, regardless of if it's a first down,
pretty darn close to the 50.
Like it is across the 50-yard line.
So they went a whole 4 yards.
I think they called it a first down, but they were waiting to switch sides, so they're going the opposite direction.
You're right.
I think it was confirmed a first down.
You can tell because
the hesitation was just going the other way.
I don't know why.
The guy does have first. He has the number 1.
Yeah, but I think they're still a little messed up on the chain gang now. Because York is now going away from us.
You know, it's preseason for a lot of us. Whether it's chain gang or...
Well, no, first game of the season. Preseason is over, but... yeah.
Right, all right, so the team's making penalties. They're making mistakes. We're making mistakes.
End of the season, middle of the season, even by the next game.
That's what we're trying to figure out. Do you know how to do it? Turn the key?
There's no key up here.
No key up here.
Yeah, look for a key. Tell me where the key is.
Red button. He said hit the red button.
The red button?
Red button. We're doing it.
Who's him?
I'm telling you.
Is that just some guy down there?
Push the red button.
How are we going to turn it back on?
I don't know.
We'll have to figure that out.
Red button?
You pull back up.
If we fall down, people.
Well, I can't miss this play.
Oh, number 53. Oh! Number 53, Jason Negley.
Will, press the red button. There you go. Thank you.
All right. You look at this red button. That's a lot more dramatic than just turning the thing off. I feel like
I trust. If you had seen the guy, I trusted that he knows how to run a scissor well.
Also,
So.
I said to push that red button like 20 minutes ago, but I didn't really even trust myself.
Listen, you've said a lot of things.
I do say a lot of things.
Anyway, number 53, Jason Negley getting to the backfields.
And then I think who's 27 for us?
27,
Almost
Braxton Rowe, breaking up the pass.
Here we go. 2nd and 10. Almost picked, but he was out of bounds.
Looks like number 6, Noah Carpenter, getting some hands on it.
That's the right guy.
This person texted me, but my camera has been If we can get a second text update from our anonymous source, I feel like I really took that to heart and tried to do a better job. 3rd and 10. I think they go back to the air again.
3rd and 10, you would imagine you got to pick some yards up.
And motion.
Into the left.
Quickly completed.
Oh,
There's number 50, Bo Mayo.
Is a flag on the play?
Down number 13, Ben Brown.
Nobody's picking up. They just let that flag sit there for a minute. Probably on York, illegal shift.
Looks like it was declined. So Hornets are going to give him 4th down. Looks like they're bringing on the punt team.
Yeah, they picked up about 5 on that, so it still sets up a 4th and 5.
I would have thought this is almost 4 down territory, though. They're right about at the 50. Kind of want to keep this little bit of momentum going.
He's just back to receive the punt, but you definitely would want to watch to make sure they're really going to punt it.
High snap. Oh, almost blocked by 34 Max Demers.
And that was just going to roll down. Now the Hornets have a long field.
We can't get any luck with the camera work here. Everything's been down at that side of the field so far, pretty much.
Now I will say, if I was playing video game football right now, I'd be happy with that because I like starting deep in my territory, so I get a lot of yards from my players. I don't know how much video game football you guys play. If you want to get the big plays.
I always played as the offensive lineman in the games. Try to get good blocks in.
Career mode?
Yeah.
Wow. Not many people played as the offensive line. Alright, we're starting deep. That's still in.
Little step ruled out.
I see that was Dayton, too.
No, that's 31. Will Keach.
I could see a 3. I just didn't see the whole.
Too far away to make that call. Yeah.
Need some space? The fans, of course, did not approve of that call. You can hear that on video.
Call on the field was he stepped out of bounds. But it looks like he had a lot of real estate ahead of him if he did manage to stay in.
Screams ringing out into the night here at Leavitt Field. I don't know what's going on.
A lot of excitement.
A lot of kids. Not much.
Looks like that was Dayton Calder.
Calder on the field. Watch out, number 13, Jeff Brown.
Close to a first down. But looks like it's going to be third and very short.
Official timeout.
We got a measurement.
Oh, measurement. Bring out the measurement. Here they come. Let me get this on camera. This is what these guys wait for all offseason. To come out and measure these close plays.
So you think
the offseason for a ref looks like?
Offseason with the chain gear, they just
jog 50 yards every so
they're just
often?
measuring things all the time. They're like, that looks about 7 yards.
I mean, yeah, you got to stay sharp. Like you can't go 7, 8, 9 months with just no experience. You got to be measuring stuff out there.
Looks like it's about 3 or 4 inches short.
That's a good
No,
idea.
what are you talking about? You can't
Oh, the
see
ref did that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were like,
eyeballing the ball.
The ref marked it with his fingers and went over to the coach.
I thought you were like,
Apologies to Matt Strong.
looks like 4 links in the chain.
Best eyesight in the business.
I did get a new prescription on my contacts, but they're not that strong.
That's really distance me. But they did pick it up. Chain gang's moving already. It's just a keeper.
Matt Calvary and the shot. The Calvary is trying to get him up for a touchdown.
There wasn't a lot of space for Cousins, but you don't need a lot of space.
No, as long as you can get a body's leg through.
That really comes down to the line, too.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
opening up a spot.
Oh,
Back intended for Brett Calder.
Rick Coburn getting his hands on it, but not quite making completion.
Oh, and a penalty. Let us know in the chat if you got any like audio problems, visual problems with us personally.
I don't know if I'm really ready for any of that.
Let's not open that one.
My self-esteem couldn't take it today.
Complaints about us missing the first 5 plays of the game. I'm gonna mostly take the fault for that.
Mostly? I have no idea what else to do.
Where else would it be
It's
dispersed?
just active. Well, the huddle camera not connecting to our thing tonight was unexpected.
That did throw a bit of a wrench from what I
It
understand.
wasn't my fault. I had to run inside and get a camera. I mean, I could have brought it.
Penalty.
Oh, penalty
Two,
against
second down.
and we are way back.
Third and like 18. Third and 18, or is it second?
There seems to be some disagreement between them.
I can't see
Looks like third
ball marker. Oh, little screen. Got some room.
That's 34. Maddox Demers. Oh, caught from behind. Number 3, Kyle Edminster.
That's a better one. That's good for me.
Yeah.
He's a big run. That's a nice job by York chasing that. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah, that would have been a play to give up on easily, but number 3, Kyle Edminster, ran him down, down from behind. This is the closest the play has been to the camera.
Looks like York is calling timeout.
9:51 to go. 16-0 Hornets. Want to recap those first 2 touchdowns for people who just came in?
First one, Noah Carpenter. Hand up, nope, pass to Dayton Calder off to the right side. 2-point conversion, I believe Dayton Calder up the middle.
And that was our first possession of the game.
Yes. First touchdown was that. Second touchdown. Wilkeach run to the right. Fake run, pass up to Sawyer Hathaway. 2-point conversion, Noah Carpenter up the middle. 16.
Matt Strong had big ambitions of tracking all the stats tonight. But he did not foresee all the problems that we would have. I sort of did. I didn't know what they would be. I was confident we'd have some sort of problem. Did you get any update on my camera work?
There's been no further complaints.
So that's good.
No news is good news, I suppose.
That's true.
Should I turn it on my phone just to get the viewership up, or is that going to cause feedback?
I have 40 right now.
40. All right. Work back over here from that timeout. We're just really spreading the field with these formations.
Dayton Calder with the pass. Oh, Dayton Calder running through defender.
Carpenter's pass completed to Dayton Calder.
We're really spreading it out on offense.
In terms of a lot of different players getting the ball.
Oh no, I just meant like a lot of like
the spread offense.
Spread offense, yes.
Yep, spreading it out.
But also spreading out to other people.
Brett Coburn. Oh, Brett Coburn! Nice catch in the end zone. Number 2, Brett Coburn.
They gave that high lofted pass too.
It's really stuff like that. How do you defend that? Like,
he's tall and he's fast. It's always hard to guard people who combine those two things because you put someone tall and they'll blow by him.
yeah, the Turner main Rob Gronkowski is what it's called, but it is just like, what do you do about that when you're a defensive player? Not much. Once again, going for 2. 22-0 Hornets. Quick snap. Ooh. Out the back of the end zone, not wanting to risk an interception. Carpenter sails it out the back. Close to number 8, so half the way back.
I'm just noticing now how not centered we are.
I mean, has it not been this way the whole time?
I think last year we were a little more centered.
I don't know what to tell you.
I also could be wrong.
I think you're right. I think we were about smack dab in the middle of
That's what I thought.
the goalposts.
Isn't this a concrete slab that we are like ratcheted down to?
Could be correct.
I don't think this has gone anywhere.
I don't have any idea.
I definitely remembering being on that side at the playoff game, or closer to that, because I think that's where the final touchdown was scored.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I didn't want to say that. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, we were like right down on that, and just. I need to bring that up.
Yeah, the temp feels kind of about the same, surprisingly, for early September. Compared to, what,
Carpenter put
late
it on the
November?
5-yard line. Number 22, Sam Fogg running it back.
Got through the first tackle.
Ooh, interesting warrior cry I just heard in the background.
Enthusiastic.
22 to nothing. 8:57 to go.
Early in the second quarter.
Yeah. Hornets have got to be good, happy with how this started. Hornets doing the tackle there.
Number 2, Davis taking it to the right side. Only about a yard or two there.
Yeah, there were 3 Hornets there.
Davis on the carry. He brought down first guy, Brett Cover.
Just realized the quarterback's last name is Davis. Any relation?
Yeah. Maybe.
For the Wildcats.
Not that I know. It's a lot of us. My mom is really into genealogy, though maybe she can find out. Mom, if you're watching.
I feel like at that point it's impossible to track the Davises. Like how do you even find that?
I said it to her before, but she does some great work.
Oh. Just shy of Tyree's Sam's incomplete pass.
Just came in.
Sounds like what?
Well,
Nate for
York. One game we them all blow away. Running, little flip.
Oh, did he throw that left-handed?
It was just kind of
Like a jump pass?
yeah.
Number 5, Jake Fogg with the
Davis center back. Completed with Jake Fogg. That first guy, 78.
I was watching,
Walks on the play.
now I can't remember the name of it. The show on HBO, they were following the Lions, and Hard Knocks, one of their quarterbacks threw an underhand forward pass. He was under pressure and just kind of running for his life and threw it underhand, gained about 15 yards.
Number 7, Peter Martin back. Taking a Will Keach. Keach electing to not pick the ball. Smart play. Don't want to risk fumbling it. Turn over. Don't want to be brought down. Smart play. Good to go.
When it gets cold, the battery's that fast.
Well, this says an hour and 39.
The battery, though, is full.
Oh, okay. So we pay no attention to the actual time left, just as long as.
I don't know what those other things on the
It's like number 34, Maddox to Murders.
Is that how long it's been on? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't really know how that works.
It's about like 8-9 yards. 2 yards to go.
Hornets going a little no huddle.
Tripped up in the backfield.
Puts up on the side, Jake Fogg. Monkey side, Ben Orso.
It's going to slip to 35. It's quick. Record before it snapped.
Nick Moran. Not Nick Moran.
That one's tough. A little bit of a high snap. Hard to get that timing right when you get that.
Number 3, Dayton Calder.
High snap.
Picking some yards up on that.
About a 4th and 1.
Yeah, not even a hesitation by Coach Hathaway. He's confident in his line play.
Big hole opened up to the right side. No Carpenter easily running through that.
We're going to see a lot of that when it's a close yardage. Just sending Noah.
A little different look for the quarterbacks this year. We don't have the two-headed monster as they had last year.
Right? I didn't know who the backup quarterback is.
Colton Taylor, I believe.
At this pace, we might get to see Colton a little bit later.
play they should run, if I had to guess.
I was just wondering, like,
Were they getting pizza after the game? I don't know.
maybe half of a second and see how his first week of school went.
Making sure he's going to all his classes.
Yeah, see how his classes are going. So, I mean,
Pushing to the right, Dayton Calder. Up the right side. Getting a good block by Maddox Demers.
first time. You know, the York secondary has done a nice job denying us.
Big play to drop down by 14, William Thompson.
A lot of time the Hornets on those runs
Right,
goes
yeah.
all the way to the house. And
Typically, like the one you saw earlier from Maddox Demers, usually it goes 50-plus yards, occasionally for a touchdown. But
Right.
the York defense,
like he kind of got out into some open space.
right?
He's
But
got a lot of speed. But
no, they know how to flock to the ball. They're tenacious. Don't give up on the plays.
But instead, it's just been a relentless 11 offense, just gaining, moving down the field.
Right. Which in some ways can be worse because it's just like the constant ground and pound and wearing the defense down. Like really, as you get towards the later moments in the game, that sort of starts to wear on you.
I have a question for you. Why doesn't the offense, and this is true in the NFL, the offense does not seem to get as tired. Like, aren't the offensive linemen? You never hear like the offense getting worn down. Is it just like the nature that it's harder to get around and pass someone than it is to just throw people off?
I think it's one of those like you run faster when you're chasing someone. So like you're just the effort of overcoming a block is more difficult than picked off. Looks like number 8, Brody Golson.
Oh, decent return, too. Late flag on the play.
Governor's pass. Secretary 8, Brody Golson.
Number 34, Maddox Demers.
Might bring it back a little bit.
He's brought down by Maddox Demers.
I mean, that makes sense what you're saying. Back to previously, I know we're waiting to see at this point.
Golson's return comes out to the 37. There's a flag on
I
the
believe that's a legal block in the back.
And the leader's block in the back against the Wildcats.
So they're still going to have the
On the
pick,
return.
but it'll take away some of that return. But yeah, Parkin, what you were saying before, that makes sense.
Like you gotta think when you're rushing the quarterback and the offense can kind of sit back and kind of not passively, but like let the defense come to them and sort of like work their way and allow them like block them outside. The defense is trying to overcome the block.
Yeah, there's
So
only so many times you can try to burst past somebody before it starts to wear you down.
in terms of effort, probably the defensive line is definitely exerting more play-by-play basis. Also the fact they just don't see what's coming, so they kind of have to be just like.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to react, I think, than be proactive.
Oh, Will Keach.
Ooh,
Big hit.
rough takedown there.
Your kid and Isaiah Davis almost got pulled over.
Will Keach, significantly better football player than Isaiah Davis.
He's a camera operator? I mean,
In general.
yeah, wow, that's positive.
Loss is 6 on the play.
Takes him out to the loss of 6.
Second down and 18.
Oh, make it 8.
Whoop, I almost got faked on that one.
Looks like that might have been Keach again.
First on the carry.
Came back a few there, but nothing. It's still going to be a third. Probably be long.
65, Landon Myers first on the drop.
65, Landon Myers, a sophomore.
We're looking like a third 14,
A gain of 2.
15, something like that.
Some of the underclassmen are starting to get rotated in. To Davis off to the right. Come on, Graham Jones getting in the face of him.
Come on, come on.
Oh! Looks like number 76, Kavon Graham Jones.
Come on. Come on, my boys in my HBT.
There you go.
Come on.
It looks like he got the throwing arm of the quarterback and kind of incomplete pass. Also a sophomore.
Looks like York's bringing on the punt unit.
Keats back. Waiting. In the dark, sort of.
Martin back once again to punt. This is when you get into the question of, do you run a fake punt because you're down 22, you got nothing to lose,
right.
Or clearly they are going for it, but...
Right. And your field position's not doing it.
Oh, Keach fielding the ball. Running hard, too. Running through a couple of tacklers. Picking up a few yards.
Now, I'm guessing... You're going to leave the varsity starters in for a while, but this is a good chance for this top unit with a few of the subs to see. It's almost like your 2-minute offense. I know it's actually 3
15-minute offense.
So your 3 15-minute offense, like, get up and down this field when you need to.
Right. These are good opportunities to work on some stuff. Obviously, it's a game and you want to take it seriously, so I don't want to insinuate that it's a practice. But this is a good time to kind of
right? Like,
situational schemes. You get to work some things out. Number 8, Sawyer Hathaway, big catch. Huge game.
Well, that's a good way to start the drive. Hornets working no huddle again.
Gets it into York territory, up to 40.
Noah Carpenter looked like he had a lot of room to move. Tripped up by the field.
Yeah, that could be a slide today.
Preseason for the field, too.
That's right.
It's got some kinks to work out.
Actually, when it comes to the field, usually the preseason is as good as it's going to get.
Yeah. Right in the hands of 10, Nick Moore, but the defender knocked it just enough to disrupt the pass.
Yeah, that would have been... It is tough to catch.
Number 8, Brody Gullison, getting hands on it.
Now we are 3rd and 11.
Screen pass, Mattis Demers. Still moving. Getting some tough yards in. It's always a good hint when you have 3 or 4 defenders running right at the quarterback. A lot of times people assume just bad blocking by the offensive line, but usually just shows that it's a screen coming up.
Yeah.
That seems like that's a go-to play when they've got some distance to cover. That was the one they broke for, what, about 40 yards earlier?
Also by Demers.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much the same play.
Left side, Dayton Calder. Not going down.
Dayton Calder, your ball carrier. Fights his way down to the 10-yard line. 2nd and 4.
Pickup of about 6.
We're going to start for the Wildcats. Over with a gain of 5, it's the 2nd and 5 for the Hornets.
Well defended by number 4, Sam Rios Martin.
Providing coverage. 3rd down.
3rd and 4.
Got a minute 19 left in the half. Still lots of time for the Hornets here.
I don't know what our timeout situation is, but we got a lot of time. I don't think we've taken time.
No, I think there's been 2 official timeouts for it.
And York
York has called the timeout.
York took one, but
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
Looks like that might be offsides on the Wildcats. That might give Leavitt a first down.
Offside. Against the Wildcats.
that would be a first down. You can hear Hathaway quickly yelling at them to huddle since the clock's going to stop.
Oh, they haven't figured out if they're taking it?
I don't know what's going on here.
There we go.
Okay,
Starting
now
much.
they're marking it off. I'm like, you definitely take it. Alright. And there is our first and goal at the 5. Go back and shot.
Looks like first and goal. Calling an audible on the line. Hathaway calling a play in.
I'm not sure what he was talking to the official about that. No one was definitely talking to him.
I think the official was asking for a good pizza place.
31, Will Keach. In for the touchdown flag on the
There was a flag.
It looks like it might have been defensive.
There is a flag on the play.
Great run into the corner there.
Nope, it's on the offense.
Let's get back things up. Minute 3 to go.
Holding against Leavitt.
What did you supposed to say?
I didn't hear what he said.
Oh, he just said against Leavitt?
Yeah. Holding against Leavitt.
Oh,
First and goal from the 15.
It will remain first and goal.
Minute 3 left in the half.
so it gets really close.
Offensive pass completed Sawyer Hathaway. Brought down by Rio Martin.
Now,
Looks like
this
1 yard to
where
go.
You think no
Well,
one
that's
just
at the right.
takes that right up there.
Second and goal.
That's that short yardage play. 40 seconds and counting.
Second down, 1 yard. Up the middle. Very good blocking by the offensive line.
Oh, the offensive.
Who knows how good you would be at football, but offensive coordinator. Crush it.
Who is the offensive coordinator? Hathaway calls the plays, right?
I imagine it's Hathaway. It is Hathaway.
He doesn't call the defensive plays, right?
No.
Okay?
Mark Bonvy.
Going for 2.
31, Will Keach. Left side.
And there we go.
32-0.
Very,
22.6 seconds left in the half.
very effective drive there for the Hornets. 30-0. Great half.
Great half.
We just need to get a successful kickoff and walk into halftime. The Hornets are going to get happy.
It's doing out on a Friday night.
At halftime, Strong, me and you were going to ask Parkin questions about playing football for Leavitt.
Oh, we are.
That's going to be
Are we?
at halftime, yeah.
All right.
Just thought of it right now.
Well, inside the NFL.
Inside the, yeah, but it's going to be inside the
Short kick by Carpenter.
Maybe trying to prevent them able to set up a return.
It's interesting to see. Clearly a short kick, but going to the 20-yard line, again, that's typically where some high school kickers will reach to.
Yeah.
So, the fact that he puts it out the back of the end zone and he's kicking it short, it's impressive.
The next one at the 19 goes out in 10 York.
Now, if you're York, are you going to sling it or are you going to play it safe and go in the house? Maybe try to run.
Well, we know they've used at least one timeout, right? So they don't have a whole lot to work with.
Right.
But when you're down 30, you kind of need every point. So they might
pass to start, and then once you get to the shorter yardage, you might want to run it out just to preserve the clock. Or not preserve the clock, run out the clock.
If you don't get it.
Ooh, that's not what you like to see.
Incomplete. 19 and a half seconds to go.
After the number 5, good ball. Take the 3. Second down.
Players looking at those armbands, which to me says this is a play they don't call that often. They've got 3 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left.
delay a game, looks like.
Flag on the play. A delay of game.
Well, that's not what they were hoping for, I think.
It's been backing up to about the 14.
Number 8, Brody Gullison, to the right, stopped by quite a few Leavitt.
So at this point, I think the Wildcats might be content to regroup at halftime. They do get the ball to start things off, so momentum can change quickly in any football game, so we'll see how they come out to start the second half.
Again, last year the Leavitt-York matchup ended with York up going into the half, so the fact that the Leavitt Hornets are 30-0 going into the half is an impressive turnaround in a year.
That's the game I went to. Yeah. I forgot they were down at halftime. I was like, yeah, okay.
I think they were down at halftime.
No, I
sure.
think you're right.
Either way, it was a very close game, and they were definitely losing at one point.
Yes. No, I think you're right. I just didn't remember these ones. And then it opened up.
I think it still ended up being a pretty close game.
Fairly close game, yeah.
I think that might have been either the York homecoming or senior night too, because there was a lot, significantly more enthusiasm than what you would see at a typical high school game.
Yep, that's true.
Remember that.
I also recall that. So now, you can also tell, York's not going into the locker room. If there's bad conditions there, they have it.
They do have a locker room open to them, but sometimes 14 minutes left, coaches do elect just to stay in the far end zone, talk it over.
The weather's not bad. I mean, this is good. It's good fall weather.
Yeah, no, this isn't inclement enough where it's negatively impacting the player's performance.
All right, I got a question for you.
All right.
And then Strong, get your question ready on that. So you were fortunate to play on a Leavitt team that was very good.
Yes.
And
a few very good Leavitt teams.
A few very good Leavitt teams.
Went to States 3 years.
And so there's a lot of games where you're up by a lot.
Yep.
Right now in the locker room, what is the attitude of the coaches? Are they still kind of on guys? ideas. I believe we're back for a temporary power outage. Not at Leavitt, but at this we got a power outage. Somehow our cord came unplugged, but we can figure that out.
Happens.
So parking.
Yeah.
Teams up big, that was the question we were asking when the power went out. What's the general vibe you usually get from the coaches?
There's a couple of factors. One being, again, any mistakes, any penalties. As I said earlier, you don't really want to call this a practice because obviously it is a game and you need to take it seriously as such. But this is a good opportunity to focus on the little things, like any type of holding, any type of offsides. Big thing probably is going to be all the jumps on defense. Probably going to be harped on a lot about that. Pretty solid play overall. Obviously the coaches have their own individual opinions on pros and cons, highs and lows that were going on during the game, but it also depends on, to be perfectly honest, the history. So if there's again, this being a team that they played close and were losing against last year, they might be a little more prone to keep their foot on the gas, keep going, want to actually play a lot harder than say if it's just a team that they don't necessarily play that much, don't really have any history with. So those different factors.
All right, I got another question I thought of when you said that. Are you hearing just from the head coaches, or you guys kind of break it down and hear from position coaches?
Typically, it's position coaches. When you go in there, for me at least, as offensive and defensive linemen, we walk right in. All the offensive linemen sit right down. Dave Bachler goes over and starts drawing stuff up, starts talking to us. We really, to be perfectly honest, didn't interact a lot with Hathaway. Obviously, he gives the general speech, the general vibe, the general tone of the game. But in terms of the minutia of the actual stuff that needs to be dealt with, Hathaway's not really gonna tell us that much stuff. He's gonna chime in. He's gonna say hey, we got to work on this. But in terms of the specific position work, that's gonna be the position coaches.
And Hathaway doesn't coach a position, right? I mean, he coaches everybody. There isn't a position he's responsible for.
I guess so. I mean, he knows. He could take over any position that he wanted to be perfectly honest, because he does have just his hands in every aspect of the game. So I wouldn't really designate him to a specific position. Generally, it would just be offense. I'd say if it was a position coach, it would probably be the quarterback, but I wouldn't call him he's not the offensive line coach. He's not really a DB coach. Those are specific jobs for that. Jim Thies probably, if I had to guess, former quarterback. Evan Barker used to be. He's not around anymore, but I know he would come around when I was here. There might be some, but
generally Hathaway.
Generally, I'd say it's Hathaway.
Matt, it's your question. What do you got?
So we know you were in the trenches.
Yep.
On both sides of the ball. Which did you prefer? Did you prefer being the instigator, or did you prefer being on the defensive end and trying to sack the quarterback?
I was a big defensive guy. That's what I preferred. I liked being, as much as we talked about having it taking more energy, I liked reacting to stuff. I kind of liked having to go after something. Instead of knowing what the play is about to be and then trying to make something happen, I like trying to disrupt the existing play and preventing the offense from doing something.
Right, there is a little bit more involved as a defender, because you got to kind of, like we said, you got to react to it, but you got a little bit more of a thinking man's game if you think of it. When you're on offense, you kind of know who you're supposed to hit.
Right.
Whereas on D, you don't know who's coming after you and where the play's going.
Because as complicated as the offense is, and as much as there's motions and different blocking schemes, you do know ahead of the play what the play is going to be. You know where to go, you know who to hit, you know where the pass is going to be, obviously if it goes well. But from the defensive side, you can only really guess, because there is a lot of film watching, there is a lot of practice, there's a lot of schemes that you need to work on to figure out when stuff is going on. There's different reads, there's different calls, there's different plays where you can take guesses at what the plays are going to be and where the ball is going to go. But generally speaking, you just got to react and find it at that point.
Now, you mentioned you won 3 state championships when you played?
Did not win 3. Went to 3.
Oh, went to 3, okay.
Yeah. My freshman year, not a significant contributor. Rode the bus, carried the water. Went, played against Wells. We lost that one. Sophomore year, we got upset here early in the playoffs. First round of the playoffs, I believe. Junior year, went undefeated, won states. Senior year, lost the first game, won every game after that. lost state game.
Oof. That's tough.
Yeah, 62-14 in negative a million degrees up in Oregon.
Oh, I think I remember watching that game on TV.
Yeah, I remember living that game in real life, so not fantastic.
So best.
By the way, guys, I am trying to work on the. We get a little bit of static on the audio, and I'm trying to make it better. That's why I'm not talking.
Right. Go for it.
I think it's getting better.
All right.
Working on it. You guys keep talking.
I don't know if it's getting. I don't know if it's getting better because I can't hear.
It sounds
much
the
of
same to me, so I
can't
have
hear
no
much
idea.
of anything out of mine. Like I used to be able to hear Will over my speakers, but I can't.
It is getting better. I'm listening to the YouTube on my phone.
Well, all right.
All right.
So, any ideas on what you think York's got to do to turn things around here? I mean, it's a big hole to climb out of, but
It's one of those things. A lot of times in like TV shows and movies, kind of the stereotype is just like you got to dig deeper and you got to give 110%. But like clearly these guys are trying hard out here.
Yeah.
So it's not a lack of effort. It's just obviously great game planning by the Hornets. But sometimes there's just halftime is when you have a lot more obviously time to evaluate the plays and kind of react to it. As the things are going, it's the same as the coaches. Like the players are getting tired and there's a lot going on and they're like just kind of on their heels with that hurry up offense, but the coaches don't have as much time to react and call in like different plays and react to the plays that are being called. So having halftime to draw up different things and kind of game plan differently. And also, depending, there could be an energy shift. Like, ideally, it doesn't happen, but the winning team goes into the locker room. They're kind of feeling good about themselves.
Right.
They come out a little flat because they feel like they don't need to try as hard. That's the opportunity for, if the York team doesn't let up and they try just as hard, to kind of claw back into it. So, ideally, the Hornets keep their foot on the gas and
so this first drive, I think, will be pretty telling. Probably, if York can put something together here, that might shift a little momentum their way.
yes.
Right. Whereas if the Hornets
if they got
stop
a
them and
if they
score
got a
right
three,
away,
if
then
they got
it's
a 3 and
kinda-
out, it's gonna be tough.
Right.
Were you played on very good Hornet teams, as you mentioned?
Yep.
Was there ever a game when you guys were losing by, not like even like more than a touchdown at halftime? Did you ever go into the game way down?
Well, state game was 35 to nothing.
I was gonna
so
say.
that
Talking about
wasn't-
the 52-14. That
62-14.
Oh,
35 nothing at the half. Was
And
not
you're the
fantastic.
sneaky.
Yeah, that was
and it
that
was
the
like
best.
minus what? It was cold, right?
It was cold.
Wait, I missed a little bit of that when I was trying to fix the stuff. Which game was that?
My senior year, it was a
Oh, against who?
rematch against us in Winslow, and we
we
were up
just-
in Orono, and we got our doors blown off a little bit, so that wasn't fantastic. But in terms of, I mean, there's not really a whole, like when I was playing, there was not really a whole lot of times you were going and losing it off at halftime.
Right. And if you were down at all, probably it was within a touchdown,
Yeah,
if that at all.
more often than not, it was a situation like this, up 35 at the half, and then we kind of see what happens in the second half. But again, that kind of catches up to you when it's the other way around.
Well, let's talk about our schedule this year, because as the Hornets are coming back out. So we, this year, are going to be playing some teams we have never played before, and they are going to be some big Class A teams.
Lewiston for homecoming.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We got Lewiston, Lawrence, Portland. I don't know if we've played any of those teams before.
Portland we played in the preseason last year.
Okay.
I played Lawrence when I was a sophomore and the classifications were different. But either way, it's been a long time since they played, and especially played at home. So
We are jumping around now. Camden Jordan
bleeds green.
bleeds green. Big fan of this song coming out. Was this?
Always nice to hype the crowd. I believe my junior year was the first time
That this was
started.
played?
Yes. I can't. It was definitely at some point while I played here, but I remember that first time because usually we would just come out and kind of stretch and do stuff, and then all of a sudden we heard the song playing and we didn't know what to do. And
Did
just
you guys
started going
jump
nuts.
around?
I mean,
I mean, Did you notice a significant
when the House of
increase
Pain
in the
tells you to
amount
do
of jumping
something?
around?
Chris
once the
Gray
music-
busted a couple moves on the sideline there.
I thought you were going to say busted a couple ribs or something. I didn't know if
Well,
there was an
that could
accident.
have happened as well, but
With his dance moves, who knows? Nope.
The crowd not really jumping around. Oh, no, there's somebody jumping around. There's a kid jump. Oh, and jumping around. Time is over.
I believe the unedited version might have snuck its way in there. So I think they might have had to cut the song a little short.
I was just going to ignore that. No reason for me to comment.
Yeah.
Hopefully our audio, it's still not crystal clear. We'll work on that for next week. But hopefully it sounds a little bit better than it did.
now is next week a home game as well? Or are they away? Do we know the schedule?
Next week is away, and I believe it's at Fitzpatrick, which if it is, Buzz Media is going to be there.
Oh.
We're on the road, Fitzpatrick.
On the road.
On the road.
Road game.
We are going to Fitzpatrick to live
And you're-
stream the game.
Wow. How are you managing that?
It was,
How are we managing that, Matt?
I'm not going.
I'm not going either.
Oh, well, Chip Groover's going to be back from Catan.
Oh, well,
Get the
thank
18
God.
back here.
And this was his idea. Like I said, Chip really is kind of like our the head of football live
Operations.
streaming. Yeah, operations, which is really weird for him to take this week off. I mean, it seems.
Biggest game of the year, some might say.
Yeah, come on, Chip. He was here for the preseason one, but that was his idea. He, I believe, sent me a text message that directed me to ask Hathaway. Hathaway emailed the Portland coach, and they said yes. We're in.
Excellent.
No reason you shouldn't travel to go watch the game,
No.
but maybe a small reason. You should.
A contributing factor, at the least.
I mean, the big city. You know what? There's a lot less little kids playing football than there used to be.
Yeah, the yellow rope is kind of designed to discourage, but clearly
There's a dad back there throwing around with his kids, but that's probably not the disruption that there were. It was usually when the pack of small children.
yeah, that's typically the circle of life is you start out as a younger kid just playing football back in that field.
Well, it used to be.
Then you work your way up here.
See, you sit back in the field, but it used to be down like near the pine trees.
Oh no, you can still
That
see
was like-
some. Well, the issue
trees
now
are
is
gone,
the issue now is the trees are gone, so you can't really hide.
Yes, that used to be the
Back
place for like the.
They would
young-
have football games in the pine trees.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember them trying to go on the
There's-
field hockey field.
That was back in my day, in the pine trees.
I think you know what, kids are just gonna find their way
they're
everywhere.
gonna find a place.
I saw
They're like nature. It's like Jurassic
Life
Park.
finds a way.
I saw online where somebody built a high school field where they built in a little mini field right next to it, just so that the little kids
Specifically
could play on
designed
it.
for that.
So I think that's smart planning if you've got the space for it.
Yeah,
And you aren't worried about little kids hurting each other.
I was gonna say you can't stop them. You can only hope to contain
That's true.
them.
Lots of
What's nice at that age is the really little kids, they don't have a lot of weight to throw behind those tackles. So
Yeah, they run full speed into each other. And they just kind of bounce and start laughing it off. So
this halftime seems extended, but here we go. New York is headed off now. Couple Leavitt guys throwing the ball around. Wondering if things continue as they are, I assume we were going to see some of the younger Leavitt people go in, but it all, like you said, I think it depends on this drive. Mr. Galway's here. I feel like if we have a scissor lift problem, that's who we want to get in touch with.
have you got him on speed dial?
We might need it.
yeah, I don't even know how to turn it on now.
No, we don't. I don't know how to turn it on either.
Listen, I'm just saying. Can you look at this objectively and think like
No.
I've written like when I mow my lawn, there's no button that's this big that says like turn it off.
Let's get.
Look at this.
Hold on. There's no key. Can you point out? I've got there's the
Right there.
joystick.
That's like what the Wile E. Coyote hits when he's trying to blow up the Roadrunner. He just
we
goes.
don't know how to turn it back on. Which, I mean, we'll see.
We'll figure it out. There's nowhere to go but down.
Do the
It's
opposite?
Sparking, you got it. You're on it.
Can you pull the red button? It was pushing the red button to stop.
Half's over. I think we're up here.
Oh, you know what? I think I have a text message from Chip from last season telling me how to do it. So I'm just going to go dig through my
The
Chip
incompetence
text.
continues.
That might take a while.
I could.
Can't you search it?
Yeah, I can. I can search I have to search for scissor lift, I guess, or turn on.
Another short kick by Noah Carpenter. Oh, bobbled by the York team.
Well, that could have been
Looks like it got
a
recovered.
really bad
though.
way to start the half for York, but it looks like they recovered.
That's the advantage of those short kicks is sometimes the receiving team a little closer. They're more accustomed to blocking. They're not necessarily expecting to have to recover. So
And not as much time to recover bobble because they're going to be
it's
right on
closer,
you.
so they don't have as much room to react.
Once again, most of the action down at the other end of the field.
Oh, no. I'm just realizing something terrible. Hold on. We'll wait till this play. This is very disappointing if true.
Big if true.
You got a new phone and you don't have any of the old messages.
Nope. Much more important than that.
Brought down by 34, Maddox Demers.
Last week, me and Chip came out and filmed a field goal kicking contest, which we've been keeping secret until it was edited. And then in video production today, I had them delete all the old videos, and I think I deleted it. Which is really crushing because I'm just going to say right now, I destroyed Chip.
Yeah.
And I have no video proof.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to do a rematch, Chip. I'm looking on those iPads when we go in. Maybe it's in the garbage. We can get it back. All right. Second and short.
Ooh, that might have lost
Big
some
hit in the
yards.
backfield. Looks like that was 78.
Somebody's psyched.
Logan Levesque.
Logan Levesque looked great to see.
He's a senior.
And that pushed it back to about a third 5 or 6.
Oh.
That
Looks
one
like
faked me out.
53 Jace Negley and 50 Bo Mayo on the tackle.
Big fourth down here. Looks like the Wildcats are going to keep the offense on the field. Oh, late change.
Not how you want to open up the half for the York Wildcats. .31 Will Keach back to return.
And they burn a timeout. Yee.
Was that just the play clock running out?
Man, it might have been.
Yeah, not probably how they talked about one in this drive to go. But it is early in the season. We didn't bring our fishing poles to fish for snacks at halftime.
I was going to say, I didn't want to bring it up, but I was really hoping that someone would bring us food.
Yeah. We need to get a better device. You know what I think? Instead of a fishing pole, we need a basket on a string that we just drop down. And the fishing pole was not that reliable. Also, it was a small child's fishing pole, so
I was going to say, not necessarily a lot of strength on that thing.
Yep. We need like a deep sea fishing rod.
Oh.
Out of bounds right about the 40.
Flat to the left. Out of bounds. Looks like it's about the 40.
Hornet 40 is where this one's going to start.
Hornet 40.
They're going to be driving away from us. No Hornet mascot yet. Just got a lot of
Oh, no Hornet
I thought
mascot.
we had convinced somebody to take on
What
that
is the
role.
deal with that?
I believe we have talked to somebody. I don't think we really set it up for today. I think it's hard, like, the first couple days of school. Like,
You don't really know who's going to be. Maddox Demers up the middle. Good blocking by the O-line.
Andrew just distracted with first day of school stuff. We have talked to somebody about being the
these
Hornet, but like, I
Preseason
think-
for the mascots, too.
Yeah, everything that mascot's like.
Speaking of mascots, did you hear the story that Poe,
Oh, yes.
the Baltimore Ravens mascot, injured reserve list for the season?
No.
Torn ACL.
Yeah, they're looking for somebody to replace him.
Oh, Nick Moore in number 10.
Maybe that's why we don't have a Hornet. They're looking to
If our Hornet's
try
gonna go
out
down,
We're getting called up from the
be the
minor
new
leagues.
Raven.
Dude.
Yeah, Poe the Raven.
Poe the Raven is a great mascot. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we went to a Sea Dogs game and Slugger came to get his picture taken with me and Chip.
Super cool.
He was very excited.
Yep.
Obviously, we had to take a picture with him.
Oh, of course.
He asked.
Did you take a picture with him, or did he take a picture with you? Is the real question. People are asking.
I mean, we were in our booth and he came to us. So,
Yeah, people are saying.
all right, 1st and 10.
Dayton Calder run to the right. Not a lot of gain on that.
Nope. Looks like about a yard. Shafeli agrees. Shafeli.
I think Chris Shaffelli is the only one of us who's in mid-season form.
No, that's true.
He doesn't miss a beat.
Listen, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
Yeah, that's true. Always prepared. I have not heard a mistake yet from him.
Deep. Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, Hathaway looking for the ball. Broken up by a York defender.
Sawyer actually had to play a little defense there because
Yeah.
it could get picked.
Coverage pass intended for Sawyer Hathaway. Ben Brown providing coverage for the Wildcats. 3rd down and 9.
Did he say Tim Brown?
What's Tim Brown doing out there?
Tim
I
Brown's
believe that's
still got
Ben
some-
Brown.
Ben
Brown
Brown.
still got some
Okay.
eligibility from
I
high school.
thought one of our math teachers was playing defense out there for York, no less.
No, that's Ben Brown, number 13.
Okay,
Makes more sense.
probably no relation.
I like that we're just taking very common last names to assume that they might be related. Do they have any Smiths on the team?
31, Will Keach off to the left. Good blocking.
Oh, late flag.
Good blocking, bad camera work. At the end, I had it, and then I accidentally, something happened.
Good blocking by Dayton Calder out there. That's something that really sets apart the good players from the great players, is doing the extra stuff that's not necessarily expected of you. Dayton Calder being
'cause
out in space, someone who typically runs the ball,
Yep.
just doing that extra blocking,
Looks
getting
like the
his
Hornets
teammates
are gonna-
those extra yards.
Someone who runs the ball and not like someone you look at and think it's going to be blocking.
No?
But I bet he actually throws pretty good. The weight that he has, I bet he throws
Dayton
it around.
Calder, exceptionally
I
strong.
would not want to be hit by Dayton
No.
Calder.
With a 10-yard penalty.
Oh.
Holding on the Hornets.
It will remain 3rd down.
3rd and 10, 3rd and 11.
Oh, my. Dayton Calder. Fantastic catch for a
Yep.
touchdown.
Great pass, great catch. 2 York players were right there.
We talked about it's being hard to defend Brett Coburn just being tall and outreaching them, but it's also just hard to defend a perfectly run route and a perfectly thrown pass. There's not much you can do about that.
Oh,
Oh,
conversion is no good. 7 minutes and 32 seconds remain in the third.
The first scoring attempt to not be successful. 2-point conversion, no good. 36-0 Hornets. 7 minutes, 42 seconds left.
I think we did have one 2-point failed conversion
Barkin.
earlier.
Math fail. You're
What?
in preseason math mode because if they had scored all of them, it would be 40. 8 times 5.
I don't know.
That's
There were two.
That's
2 failed conversions.
they don't pay me to do math.
After
And
the,
you're here
after
with
the,
the math. You know,
after the
algebra.
after the third touchdown, they failed the 2-point conversion because it was 22-0 at one point.
Shout out Matt Strong.
Matt, you know, I'm happy if you do the math, but telling us the history of what happened seems more my job. We can stay in our lane here.
That's true. That was a bit of a role reversal. You were giving him the math lowdown before I even got a chance to say anything.
True. All right,
So.
that's fair. Oh, I hope he kicks it deep just because I want to see if he can get it into the end zone. And
The ball clear out of view down the hill, over by the fence.
It looked like the York player just kind of let that one. I don't think that landed in the end zone. He could just kind of let it go. So maybe they're content with taking it at the 20.
It was also a bit of a line drive, so that might have been a little bit more difficult to field coming right at you.
York's got to get something going here. If they want any chance of staying in this game. Oh, got a whistle.
I don't know what that whistle was for.
I'm not sure either. Placement of the ball.
I guess you're right.
Oh, big play by York.
Tackled by about a dozen Hornets, approximately.
Would you say a swarm?
A swarm is what one might say.
No, I didn't
I was
want
waiting
to say
for that
swarm.
one.
I intentionally did not. Oh, you know what I haven't done? It's just stunning for me because I'm usually on top of this, is post on Instagram that we're live.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Like everything tonight, not running quite up to mid-season form or speed.
Matt, what was up? Now I'm doing 2 things at once. I'm running this camera. We are live here in the field. There it is. Oh, I got to watch the camera. You just saw me do some bad camera work.
Inception.
Tune into YouTube right now.
It's incomplete. Second down and 10.
We need a bigger production crew.
We need a bigger lift.
We need a bigger lift. We're going to need a bigger lift.
I thought you'd be able to convince some of your students to
Well,
get
we
some
can't
early
really
brownie
bring
points.
I don't
and-
think we can bring a student to lift. We don't even know how
No,
to
I
operate
mean
it.
just
Generally
to
in the
help
area.
out.
Yeah. No, I think
Maybe run an iPad, little remote camera action.
Yeah. We we can do that. We can get a second camera here. We're gonna have to get some students. I don't believe they can come up into the scissor lift. I'm not even sure if we can be in the scissor lift. Really, I don't.
I mean, clearly not. We couldn't even turn it off.
It's definitely a question mark whether or not we're going to actually be able to get down.
Yes,
So I'm a little
yes.
worried.
If we can get off the scissor lift, I think that extension cord we can climb down. I mean, that seems pretty sturdy.
Yeah. There's a guy, right?
There's a guy that's gonna tell us.
Yeah.
what to
Someone will let us know.
do. Here we go. 3rd and 14. We stopped even announcing the play here. Apologies to York.
Deep pass. Oh.
That's caught. 12 is the
Number 12, Aiden Turcott breaking up the pass.
Looks like punt team is back on the field for York. 4th and 14.
You got to wonder if at some point they just either go for it on 4th down or try a trick play because...
You know what? I think they were doing a trick play when they had the play clock violation on last time.
It did look like immediately after the timeout, the punter did spin.
Did that spin.
Although sometimes people just add a little extra flair, try and confuse. Sometimes there would be instances where a punter would do that just to make the other team think that they might be running a fake and that it just went wrong. So punter might be playing some head games with the Leavitt offense, or defense, rather.
How did you – all right, we got an extension of our halftime. Trick plays, especially when you're defensive line. Did you worry about trick plays a lot? Was it in your head, or were you just doing like your responsibility? Like, how did that affect you?
Not really, because you got to think the percent of trick plays, like usually you just play the game assuming that things are going to go the way that they usually do. And for defensive linemen at least, you need to, like that's more of a defensive back linebacker thing. Like you need to stay aware and kind of stay back so you don't get the big play. But if a trick play gets 3 yards, then not a huge deal.
York was hoping that it touched a Leavitt
I was going to say,
player.
it looks like they were thinking that it went off the back of the Leavitt player and they were going to advance it, but does not appear to be the case. But in the case of like reverses and stuff like that, because we, as linemen, you don't really read the skill positions. You kind of go based on the lineman. So if someone's blocking you a certain way, there might be all kinds of stuff going on in the backfield. There's reverses, there's laterals, there's stuff going on, but the line can usually tell you the direction the play is going to go. So sometimes you would get past a block and then there'd be a reverse still coming at you because that's just the way that it's going. Mm-hmm. But
looks like we got a new quarterback for the Hornets.
Oh, ball loose.
Maybe
Colton
a little.
might have been with that one.
Maybe a little nerves there.
Did you like running trick plays on the offensive side of things?
Again, though, usually with the lineman, trick plays don't like. If you're talking about screen passes as a defensive player, you would kind of realize like you'd be like, oh, I'm doing amazing. No one has blocked me. I'm the best football player on earth. And then you get there and you're like, oh, I am 5 yards away from where I'm supposed to be, and you realize that you've kind of gone a little too far. So sometimes if things feel a little too easy, usually try and hold up and kind of stop. But
all right, here we go. Handoff.
It's number 7, Colton Taylor, handing off to number 36, Jake Mellon, right up the middle.
What does that message in the chat say? I can't see from here.
It says, y'all need to go back into the snack shack with everyone else. I don't know what that means.
Not sure what that means either, but I wish we could go to the snack shack.
No, that'd be nice. I'd prefer that at this point, but no, again, from a lineman standpoint, during trick plays, that's usually on running backs, receivers, quarterbacks, stuff like that. The linemen just kind of generally do very similar things, regardless of the play. Nice hole opened up. Colton Taylor making it through, but brought down pretty quickly.
That's going to be a 4th and less than a yard. They are going for it.
That looks like that's going to be a first.
Once again, number 36, Jake Mellon, going up the middle for the first down.
And that might be the last play of the third. Actually, you know what? No, it's not. Sorry.
If your math was correct, Mr. Strong,
I got to pay attention to the
clock.
I got to pay attention to the game clock.
Clearly, That can't happen.
Shows you my football knowledge. I was thinking basketball wise, yeah, they're gonna run the clock out, get one last shot.
Just keep.
Colton Taylor airing out. Ooh. Now, not wanting to risk an interception, throws it out of bounds. Clock should be stopping at this point.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
is there a rule about non-stoppage?
I don't believe at this point.
36 to nothing.
It was out of bounds, incomplete pass. That should have been a stopped clock as far as I know.
But there is a certain score where it's a running.
I am not sure what that is.
I don't know what it is.
I
either.
couldn't tell you.
Well,
no one seems to be
I
overly
was going to
concerned.
say, it doesn't
so-
seem like either team is.
So I imagine they're fine with letting it run out. So I don't know what the actual number is.
Yeah.
Once it
it's
gets to the point
second
where it's a
half,
running
and I'm
clock.
not sure what the point total is.
But, I would think in that case that would have benefited the
Well, once
team
it's
that
running
was
clock,
losing.
it's just a running clock. It doesn't.
Oh,
even
for
matter.
either team.
For either team.
Okay.
But I don't know what the point is. If there's a
'Cause
certain
that doesn't
point
really
spread,
benefit-
maybe it could be 35 points. I don't
Doesn't benefit the losing team to have the clock running on that play.
know. No, I think it's just that
Okay.
Usually the benefit is the score
the game's
doesn't get
just-
out of hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Although I will say, great performance by the Hornets, 36-0. This is not a bad York team at all. Like, in this game, it's not like a. It's not like a crushing blowout. It's kind of just been a methodical. The Hornets have driven down and scored and played well, but it's not a case where we've like overmatched them. Sometimes you see like a.
Right. And the score was what, 30-0 at the half?
Yeah.
So second half, or third quarter at least, 6-0 is pretty solid performance by the York team. So
Yeah. And at this point, we're looking at. I'm assuming JV's.
now the goal is
For
where the
team.
pressure does get put onto the second team JV other squad is, when I was here at least, who knows if this is still the case, Mark Bonavie, defensive coordinator, if
I
a
bet they know where
shutout
you're
was put
going.
up and it was 0 donuts, he would bring in donuts for us.
Oh,
So it
you
would
want
always
to
be-
keep the shutout.
Yes. Colton Taylor handoff to number 12, Aiden Turcotte. But yeah, so if it remained a shutout, again, not sure if that's still the case, but if it remained a shutout, he would bring in donut
from where?
holes for us. Duncan, of
Dunkin'
course,
Don-
naturally. But so that would always be sometimes a concern late in the game when maybe the JV squad was gonna. It was a 62-0 game, and then they let up 6 points, and then
And then that cost
no
everybody
donuts for us. Oh.
Jake Miller brought down by 22, Sam Ford.
35-point lead in the second half is a running clock. Thank you to Ryan Mishu for telling us that.
Fourth down and about 5.
So that would make sense.
36-0, here
just
we are.
crossed over into that. Fourth and 5. Well, it's going for it here. Got that hole.
Good blocking by the offensive line. Colton
like he's
Taylor
able to
digging
pick
deep
up
for
the
some extra
first.
yards.
Colton Taylor, now was that a designed run, or do you think he just saw that hole? Because he
I think he just saw and went for
Yeah,
it.
I
'Cause
think
he looked like he
definitely
really
looked
was
like
dropping
gonna,
back to
He was
pass.
going to pass, yeah. All right, now the clock stopped.
I believe that's a timeout.
Okay, somebody called the timeout. All right.
I think one
Help
of the
if I
few
was paying
instances.
attention.
Who's that in the back of the end zone over there?
Couldn't tell you.
Someone walking across the field back there in black. I don't know who it is.
That might be Nancy, actually. I think that's the athletic trainer.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. It is. That's Nancy.
Not all rules apply to.
No, yeah, no,
Nancy.
that's totally
Felt
legit. For a
like-
second, I was like, is there just a person?
If
coming out of
if
that?
there's someone who can do what she wants around
Yeah,
here,
no,
I'd
it's
say it's
Nancy.
Nancy. And off to the left.
Got some space.
Looks like Braxton Rowe in for the touchdown. Number 27, Braxton Rowe.
I think I have to give that one up to the guys up front. That was some excellent blocking. He was barely touched, huh?
Hard running by number 27, but to be honest, it looked pretty easy for him. Like, put a lot of effort in, went fast, didn't get hit by many people. Once again, number 12, Aiden Turcott, untouched.
Yep.
Pretty much walking into the end zone.
Now, but he still did get it in. Once in a while last year, there were plays where I said I could have scored the 2-point conversion. Like, there was nobody in sight. And I, even without even practice of knowing what I'm doing,
it opened up pretty good.
I could have done it.
This being, and that's a good point. Last year, a lot of veteran players, a lot of seniors, a lot of
that line.
Returning. They've been playing together since they were children. It'd been all the same kids. This one, first year that all these players are kind of working as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, and obviously they played really well tonight, but with an offensive line playing together, that time makes a difference. I'd imagine as the season goes on and they get to know each other better, not only
right, because a big part is you don't really get a lot stronger. It's not the fact that you're able to push the defense any harder, any further as the season goes on. It just becomes a communication thing at that point. Like, you understand. Kickoff on number 6.
I think that was actually Sawyer Hathaway on the kickoff.
Oh, number 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Ran back by Sam Fogg, number 22. But anyway, yes, as the season goes on, you kind of just learn the plays a little better. You know who to block a little better. But then the inner team communication gets a lot better. So a lot of times you get up, the defense kind of shifts, or they'll move, or there'll be an unexpected event that just kind of occurs that you have to deal with. So the ability to communicate, and sometimes that nonverbal communication, like, you're not really going to stand up and be like, hey, something's different, so you have to block that guy now. Like, you got to get used to the different calls. You got to get used to that not necessarily clear communication. And that just obviously, as time goes on, gets sharper and sharper.
And those guys last year had played together so long that...
Exactly. So a lot of these calls, a lot of these plays are kind of the same as when they're kids. So, and there was Bo Mayo, Jason Egley were on the line too, but you have Reeve Twitchell, Jack Buta, Josh Cretion, Trevor Poirier, like these guys who've just been playing together for a long time. Like, good play by the Leavitt defense. 76, Kavon.
Kavon! I don't know about you guys. I get excited when people in my HBT do things.
What's that?
I feel a little credit when people in my HBT,
well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
I'm like, yeah.
None of my HBT plays football.
I wasn't going to say anything, but Landon Myers, who made the tackle before your HBT kid, is in my HBT.
Oh, brought down in the backfield.
It also applies to other things though, like plays or anything. I'm like, I just like seeing
55, Xavier Gray.
I like seeing the
Not
HBT
sure who
kids
the other one was, but
perform. Third and 13 with 7.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Looks like York has got their backup quarterback in there, too. Number 10.
Yep, that's number 10, Alex Taylor.
Battle of the Taylors here. Oh, flag flew.
There's a flag.
33, Keegan Rennie trying to break up the pass.
Speaking of HBTs, this tells you how old I am. Keegan Rennie's dad was in my HBT.
Oof.
Shout out Marcus down below us.
Not sure what the flag was for.
I think he might have been over the line of scrimmage.
Declined.
Oh, legal man downfield. I thought it was across the line of scrimmage when he threw that pass, but
He was close to it. Coming back there, but now we got 4th.
Something that you got to appreciate is the hustle of people getting off the field. It's always easy to hustle onto the field. It's hustling when you're playing the game. When you're hustling off the fields, that's the stuff you love to see.
we got an equipment issue.
No, equipment issue is
It's like having an equipment issue, maybe a
just-
malfunction with the helmet.
they don't. There's no penalty or anything for that. They just
No, I think that's just you got to get off.
Fourth and 13.
Oh, Landon Myers getting back in there.
You heard that support from Matt Strong, his HPT teacher, and wanted to show off.
Landon Myers looking quick in the backfield. That would be a turnover on downs after getting tackled short of the first down.
And we are down to 5 minutes, 3 seconds to go here.
Looks like we might be getting down to the third offense.
Who do we got at third off? Who's our next quarterback in? Number 9 out back? Who's number 9?
Is that Brendan Bickford?
I'm not positive he's a quarterback, but it looked like that's who they were listening to.
No, it might be 18. My eyesight is, yeah, it looks like 18 or 16.
16, I think.
Brock Poulin is number 18. I believe he's the quarterback.
Who's 16?
I don't think there's a 16.
Oh, all right, then.
Oh, big blocks, big runs. No, that's a Brock Poulin walk.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. I was wrong. Thought it was a 16.
Great blocking
Ooh.
again.
Big hit.
He was like 10 yards downfield before he saw
Strong
anybody.
finish by Braden Letourneau.
And that's going to get us first. First down at about the 17.
Tell you what, I've been really impressed with the line play. I got to say it again. The offensive line especially, these last couple drives have been doing a great job at open holes for the runners.
Strong run, Keegan Rennie, number 33.
Is it Bachler is still coaching?
Still coaching.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure. So that's, when you say
Consistent.
the line, that's
Yeah.
it's still Bachler. Coach some great lines.
Yeah, personnel comes and goes. Different players having to do with different things, but excellent blocking is a consistent aspect of this team.
Oh, yeah.
And that's obvious with number 1, Mason Henderson.
Mason Henderson.
Relatively easy run into the end zone.
Yes. And when we talk about speed, you can
That's a
talk
guy.
about Mason.
That's a guy.
Was out at Junior Olympics.
When I first met Mason, I was in the weight room, and I asked him what his name was, and he said Mason Henderson. And I was like, "Oh, you that fast guy?" And he was like, "Yeah."
We saw him at a middle school meet. He finished 100 when there were people at about the 60.
Didn't even look like they were running the same race.
No, crazy fast.
Ooh.
Incomplete to 9.
50-0. not always easy to evaluate breakaway speed on the football fields because, again, Mason Henderson may be the fastest kid on the field right now, but when it's short yardage, you're weaving through people. Like, you can obviously tell he's fast, but you don't get a real feel for how fast someone is until they get, like, open yardage and really start to pull away from someone.
Well, and I don't even know. That's not even really the most important kind of speed, right?
No, obviously being
Like,
shifty and quick and able to, like, weave in and out and getting around. I believe the cheer from the crowd is for number 80, Addison Martin, getting into the game.
is this Sawyer on the kicking?
I think so.
Yep.
A little bit taller than
Benton stopped. Was it 25 or 41 that hit him first?
I'm just going to say both. Riley Meisner and Tristan Buck pushing him deep into back of the field.
And we were
Under
now,
2 minutes left.
Yep.
50-0.
Got down by Mason Henderson.
about a minute and a half left here. Clock is running.
Caroline, shout out to Coach Bach for the offensive line. You could just say shout out to Dad.
Shout out, Dad.
A deserved shout out.
Different quarterback again in there for York, number 7 this time. Oh, a little lefty action.
Oh! Looks like a strip sack on the defense.
Looks like they're
Might
going to
have been
call
65, Landon Myers again.
that an incomplete pass, it looks like.
But Landon has been all over the place here in this fourth quarter. And we are under a minute. This could be the final play of the game. And we'll see if we can get off this scissor lift.
Nope.
Oops.
This play looks like 55 Xavier Gray.
I wish you guys knew how bad my camera work was. I apologize. Every once in a while, I'm like zoomed and following it, and then I hit something.
Oh, a little premature with the sweet Caroline.
Oh.
A little bit early. Oh, team not happy with that.
Oh, man.
And
there we go. That's the official time. Oh, my. That was a bit early.
50-0. All right, thank you for joining us on Buzz Media. We are going to hopefully not still be in the scissor lift.
We'll see you next time up here if we don't get our way down.
Hopefully Fitzpatrick. Thanks for tuning in.
You just do end stream?
Yeah, you can do end stream.